difference between relations and relationship. So if you apply it into our course, you can say, I learned about labor relations in order to build a good relationship between me or between the union and the employer. So what is the difference between relations and relationship? Can anyone give a guess? Anyone try to guess? Are you trying to Google it? Yes, I like it when you are always ask Google questions and then he always give you the answer. That's why a lot of my students say Google is my best friend.
Relation is more formal.
Yes?
Relation is more formal for writing.
Relation is more formal for writing and relationship is less formal?
No, in relationship, tend to give in interaction between people.
Okay, thank you very much, Han. But I would encourage some more ideas, please. Han, you have something coming up from your phone?
I think that relationship is when you do relationship, you want to try the like close relationship that you have. Like I have relationship with my boyfriend or my friends, and the relations is more academic. Like when you say about the workplace, like I have relation with my coworker or with another company,
Okay.
and we influence each other. We have influence each other.
I think there is some part from what you have shared with me, and with everybody here, that when you mention relationship, it seems like it's coming to a closer relations. I agree a part with it. So let me quote what Cambridge Dictionary says. Cambridge Dictionary says that relations mean the way how to group, to objects, to people, feel and behave towards each other. And relationship means how these two people in many times feel and behave towards each other. So you will see for relations we have an S here because it's a countable noun. So if we have having a relation of student and teacher here, the way how you feel about me today is called relations. But the way how you feel about me toward on the course is called relationships. So which one actually is a long-term termination? Relationship. Now if you want to build a good relationship with your employer, firstly, every day you should build good relations with your employer first. Everybody understand what I mean? If you want to have a good relationship with your father, then every day, firstly, you should have a good relations to your father. So the way how you feel and you behave towards your father every day is the relations. The total. So even when he dies, when he passed away, and you come closer to his deathbed, and you say, Father, I appreciate that all the time we have a good relationship. Everybody understand it here, right? So if you say I have a good relations with my employer, it means probably just temporarily. Is that right? But if I say I have a very good relationship with my boss, it also means that so far there are many times that you and he have worked with each other, and you feel okay, you feel good, you behave good towards him, and he behaved good toward you. Is that right? And so I need you to understand these concepts. So another question is, why don't we call our course labor relationships? Can anybody explain this question to me? Why don't we call, or why don't we name our course labor relationship? But we call it labor relations with an S, right? Anything pop up in your mind? What is that? Because do you think that labor relationship can be formed permanently or forever in the same way? No. How can you say no? We call relation because we don't know today what the relation will be like, and tomorrow what the relation will be like. Is that right? Now today, according to the labor code and according to what the company is having, according to the company's financial performance, they are paying us very well. So we say, oh yeah, I have a very good relations with my employer. But tomorrow you are fired because the company don't need you anymore. So you cannot say that overall you have a good relationship with the employer. Is that right? So actually we learn about labor relation is simply, we don't learn about relationships. It's simply because it's not stable to be called a relationship. Is that right? The relations between the employer and the employees change every day or even every minute, depending on the economic situation, depending on political situation of your country, depending on the financial performance of the company. So everybody understand why we don't learn about labor relationship here? Yeah. And one more thing, this is not really related to the course, but I need to explain to you. When you say you have a relationship with somebody, be careful because it also means that you have a boyfriend or girlfriend. You have a romantic relationship with that person. Okay, so English is very tricky. Okay, now let's get back to our topic. Now, this is the definition that the book gives you, and I'm sure you have it on my lecture notes already. What I need you to pick out here is what are the keywords that you will remember about this definition. Now, everybody can define what relations is about, what labor relations mean, but this is the definition from John Fossum, the name of the author of the book. What are some of the keywords that you keep in your mind for your final examination? Thân, what are some of the keywords that you have to remember about this definition?
Union, employer,
Specific interest, yeah. Union and employer, very good, because when we define relation, we say it's something happened between two people or two group or two of something, right? So here the two sides that we're discussing are the employer and the union. Now, something else, please, or some more of our friends. Anything else that you think also very important about this definition that I will need you to remember? Not only for your final exam, but it's also something that happens a lot every day in a company. Unionized company. Anything else? Employer, union, specific interest. We'll talk about the word interest later, everyone, but anything else? To define the word relations? Is the word? Ongoing interchange. Please remember that. Can you give me a synonym with the word ongoing? Continuous, very good. So it's something that will not stop if your company is still in operation. This is a relations, a kind of relation that will go on forever. Even if you don't have the union, then the relation between the employer and the employee will always exist. Right? So it's an ongoing. And the word interchange here is the way how Khánh has already defined for you. Interchange means the way how two groups of people or have two objects or two people influence or feel or behave towards each other. So how the union feel or behave towards the employer, that is their relations. How the employer feel and behave towards the union, that is their relations, right? If I work in the management, I work in the management at the moment, and so if I don't like the union, because they really give me a lot of trouble when I manage and when I want to do my, implement my strategy, the union is always the barrier, then the relationship between me and the union is very negative, right? So everybody understand what the word ongoing and interchange here is some word that I need you to remember. And after all, it's the definition that all this course will focus on to explain to you. Now, if we only know the definition is not enough, right? Coming down to the purpose. I always tell my students that when you learn something, you have to know the reason why you learn it. Otherwise, don't learn it, right? If you don't know why you have to learn something, then just forget about it. It's adult learning for me as well. If I don't know the reason why I have to learn something, then I cannot put it in my mind. So this is the definition, but what is the reason why labor relation is very important? You learn about the relations, it can give you the methods, the practices, the way, or in the book it used the word, the mechanism. It can give you the mechanisms. We'll talk about this word later, everybody. It creates the mechanism to, firstly, clarify, manage, reduce, and resolve conflicts over a specific interest. Now, I told you that we would talk about this word because it's a very important word. Can anybody please give me a definition or an example of what the word interest here means? Interest. Yes. You seem to Google all the keywords already. Very good. Can you help me with this word, please?
I think it's benefits.
You give me a very good example of interest. Interest could mean benefits, yes? Benefits for employees or benefits for employer, correct? Any other words you can come up with?
Policy.
Policy? Policy seems to be the way how a member of the management control the company rather than an interest. So I'm sorry, it do not really mean interest. But benefit, yes, benefits mean interest. But policy, we'll talk about policy later. It's a way how we manage and control our company. This is not interest. When you work for a company, if you're a worker, you need to know what your interests are, right? Your benefits are. What else? Interest. Benefit is only a part of it. Give me some more words, please. Yes, compensation, very good. Interesting also include compensation. I write down the words you say to me. Thank you. So compensation. Benefit. What else? Please, you're coming close to a lot of things that are tangible. Can you think of something that is more intangible? Something that you cannot see but is there? Promotion. Okay, very good. Promotions. What else, everyone? Very good. The environment. Yes, working environment. Very good. Thank you very much, Wunam and Taniswa. Any other ideas?